is Ultimate Edition, Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition is already an R-rated movie, but still, like if that scene was there, it would have had more of an impact, and then that logical flaw would have got over. And finally, I will talk about the Mad Max Batman. Like that was the coolest thing to ever happen to Batman in a comic book movie. Like that was badass. Like that was superb. That was amazing. That whole dream sequence. If there can be a movie like this, if there can be 3 hour movie in which Batman and the remaining Justice League heroes are fighting the Superman, then I want to watch that movie. Like hell. There's nothing else I want to watch in my life more than that. Like, just understand this thing that what we saw in Avengers Endgame was already conceptualized by Zack Snyder and the whole team. Like, this is so insane. Like, they actually conceptualized the whole time travel thing. No one can deny this thing that they did not had this idea in mind. Like, you have seen it in the movie. Like, Flash traveled back to time to tell it to Bruce Wayne that Lois Lane is the key and you need to save her. Like this is so clear and this is so concise, and this had been the best movie ever. Like that kind of movie is what I want to see, and only Zack Snyder can take this kind of risk. Like or like directors like Zack Snyder, not only just Zack Snyder, but there are some directors as well. But a production house like Disney, they cannot take this kind of risk. Like they cannot be that risky. And we have seen like the reason why I have started liking Batman v Superman more than ever is when I watched Avengers Endgame, and I really thought that these people did not take any risk. Like I liked Avengers Infinity War a lot because that was a movie that had a lot of states put in it. Like everything was new, everything was clear, everything was beautiful, and everything was amazing. But in Avengers Endgame, like it was Avengers Endgame was really bland as compared to Infinity War, and I realized that these people cannot take those kind of risks. Like it is a production house; they have to make 20 more movies in advance. Like, and they cannot be that risky. But Zack Snyder can go completely insane. Like Zack Snyder can make such great movies, and he can completely shock audiences. Like even with Man of Steel, he completely changed everything with Man of Steel. Like no one ever thought that Superman will be that dark. Like even something like Superman can be this dark, but still he did it, and he did it very well. So again, I'm gonna say this thing that Zack Snyder or other directors like him or other filmmakers like him, only they have got the guts to take big risks in a movie, to really put things at stake, and really I will definitely say that other people should also be given chances of making these kind of movies. As like I want someone like Darren Aronofsky, I want someone like George Miller. George Miller wanted to direct the Justice League, and he also had a script. But yeah, I want to see that kind of man. I want to see that kind of director making a DC movie, or like, and yes, I want to see someone like Denis Villeneuve as well, like who directed the movies like Arrival, directed movies like Sicario. I want to see him make a DC movie. Like I want to see him experiment, and he will bring nothing but freshness to the superheroes. Like the superhero movie genre has completely run out now. Like we all know how the movie will start, how an origin story will be there, like you, and how there will be those lofty dialogues that you need to be a big hero, you need to be this, you need to be that, how there will be a death of someone, how then he will grow to become the king, how then he will transform into a bigger hero. Like we have all seen those things, and how there will be a villain who will want to destroy the world, or even if there is not that kind of alien villain, there will be someone like Joker or Killmonger who want chaos or who are rebellious or something like that. But ultimately, movies, the superhero genre is nothing bigger than a Western movie genre. Like right till now, like obviously, if you go to comic books, like there are some very weird graphic novels written, and they should be put forward. Like they should be there, and unless and until those things are not put forward, people will not like any of this things. Like the alien X-Men. Like this is the first time aliens are there in X-Men Dark Phoenix, but aliens are a very common thing in X-Men universe. So we need experimentation with this comic book genre, and people like Zack Snyder have the dare to do this thing, and they should be appreciated. One more thing I will say about him, that he was a trailblazer in many things. Like he was the first one who started an R-rated superhero movie. Like yes, Blade was an R-rated superhero movie, but in the late 2000s, like he was the first one who created these kind of movies. Like the first one was Watchmen, and even Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition was R-rated. And then came Deadpool and Logan with their R-rated genres. The second thing is like the thing is this, that Batman is not intent to murder the criminals like everyone who is in front of him. Like he's not just intent in saving the people who are coming in his way. Like he knows that they are criminals, he knows that they are bad guys, and why should he, like he's just like he just wants to beat them like too badly, and that's what he is doing. Like he is not someone who is going to murder everyone. Like even in Suicide Squad we see that Batman is not killing everyone. So this idea was completely rubbish, bullshit. I read an article about Christopher Nolan, like when Man of Steel was released after 2 3 days. I was scrolling the internet. It is a thought of like I'm describing something about 2013, and like it was written that Christopher Nolan himself agreed that Superman should really show killing Zod, because that will prove that Superman does not kill. Like that will intently prove that. Like to show, like when you will describe that Superman hates killing people while really showing the pain he is in, even when he is killing someone who is a mass murderer, like who is intent on killing like hundreds and thousands of people, who is intent on destroying the whole human civilization. And that was completely justified. Like people who say that Superman should not kill, Superman should not have killed, like this is so disgusting, this is so rubbish. Like if Superman, like if we have a comic book that has got Superman in the era of Hitler, like so he should not kill someone like Hitler, he should not kill someone like Laden. He should not kill some terrorist. Like this is so rubbish. Like this is so disgusting. Like, and really, like this kind of people, like our superhero does not murder. Actually, there were not a lot of murders going on in the movie. Like it was just that Zack Snyder believes in showing badass action. When it comes for Batman, he really showed some badass action, and Batman does not care about criminals. Like the same way in Batman Begins, Ra's al Ghul was dying, and Batman says that I don't intend to save you, because obviously, man, Ra's al Ghul wants to destroy a fucking city. Like Ra's al Ghul wants to destroy the whole Gotham. Like if he will save Ra's al Ghul, then Russell will again do the same thing. Like after coming out of prison, like if he finds a way out of prison, he will again do the same thing. So this is what Bruce Wayne also did. Like people just love Christopher Nolan, and Christopher Nolan himself was a part of this movie. And yes, he said that it should be Zack Snyder's vision. He said that Zack Snyder should be the main controller of the whole thing. But still, like if he found something completely discomforting, he would have literally said it. But no, like he must had agreed, and He is that mature. Christopher Nolan is that mature that he must have completely loved Batman v Superman and Man of Steel by all means. Like, he must have completely loved this take. And Christopher Nolan is really someone who takes chances and by no means should really like. I don't really think that by no means he disagree to this kind of dark tale of Superman and Batman. And actually, it's a great movie. Finally, I will definitely appreciate all those great people who have liked this movie. And the biggest name I will definitely mention is Brett Culp. I watched his review few years back and I still remember him. And like every review he has done of Captain, like he has done reviews of Captain America Civil War and Aquaman, and even he has done reviews of almost all the DC movies that have come. So you should definitely watch all those reviews, and he deserves more appreciation than any other YouTuber. The way he described Batman v Superman, like the love which he had, and that's the main thing. Like that's the main focus of this video as well. That it is our love for these superheroes. It is our love. It is my love for Batman and even Superman and Zack Snyder as well. That I like the way he is. Like the movies that he made, they are the most passionate movies I have ever seen, and he deserves every ounce of appreciation for that. He deserves really appreciation. He should not be castigated. He should not be chastised, and he should not be said that no, what you did was wrong. No way. It's like he has made masterpieces, and he deserves to be appreciated for them. And people like Brett Culp and even Ben Shapiro in one of the videos said that it is a good movie. It has got its flaws, but it is a good movie. And even though you might not you might not agree with his political philosophy, but you will agree with one thing, that Ben Shapiro is a really real smart guy. Like he is really smart, he's really intelligent, and you should really and definitely his review and his analysis was also very correct, is also very very appropriate. There is another major flaw that people point out about the characterization of Superman, that this is not our Superman. Like they will say that many people say that this Superman is not that kind of corny and not that kind of happy guy who is just, he is not having the straight ideologies. Like he is not like, they mean to say that he is not like Mahatma Gandhi or something like that. And like this is another very big flaw in the thinking of people. Like you need to see how Robert Downey Jr. and John Favreau and all those people transformed the whole Iron Man. Like, Iron Man was not like that. Iron Man was not that joke creating kind of guy. Like if you watch the cartoons before the Iron Man movie came out, and whatever like whatever comic books you read, Iron Man was not like that. It was their take. It was their characterization. The filmmakers and the actors' characterization of Iron Man, and that completely changed it. And the same thing was done by Zack Snyder. Like, of course, they cannot make a Superman who is cracking jokes and who is like drinking and all doing all these shitty things. So, what they did with Superman was another way of characterizing him. What they did with Superman is they made him they made him more of a thinker and more of a little rebel. Like he is not someone who will listen to you and who will listen to government and who will say that yeah, whatever the government does is right. Like for example, by the end of the Man of Steel, we see